I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Anshaha from West Bengal.
Hare Krishna and Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Anur Pranam. This is Rohini Kumar Balaramdas from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Haroni Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. My Dandavat Pranams to all the assembled devotees. This is Sushmita from Mississauga, Canada.
Hare Krishna, Sushmita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Okay, Mataji, I'll start recording.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Conference. Hare Krishna, welcome to Bhakti Sangha Conference call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Shamika Rishi Prabhuji enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 6th chapter, verse 15. Before that, I would like to hand over call to Ayan Prabhuji for a brief introduction of Prabhuji. Hare Krishna and Prabhuji. I would like to hand over call to Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I offer my obeisances to all the assembled devotees, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Here is a brief introduction for our dear speaker, His Grace Samik Rishi Das. Samik Rishi Prabhuji is a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Being a doctor by profession, Prabhuji has done immense services to the devotee community and served the society by donating for lots of projects. For example, Prabhuji donated the deities of Philadelphia Temple, and Prabhuji made 3,000 temples units that serve as an altar in the villages. Prabhuji also served as temple president of ISKCON, New Jersey for 15 years. Prabhuji is known for his simplicity and humility. Prabhuji is now an initiating guru in ISKCON. This is a very brief introduction for Prabhuji. Over to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Beautiful introduction. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Conference call, Prabhuji. I would like to hand over call to you.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyasya patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namah. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrinda Vaneshwari Kurashabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Nama वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णा पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नस्तप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। We'll be reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 6, Chapter 6, Text number 15. Prahlad instructs his demonic schoolmates. वित्तेषु नित्याभिनिविष्टचेता विद्वांस देवशं परवित्तहर्तुः प्रत्येहवाथाप्य जितेन्द्रियस्तद् शांत कामो हरते कुटुम्बीम्. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. If a person too attached to the duties of family maintenance is unable to control his senses, the core of his heart is immersed in how to accumulate money. Although he knows that one who takes the wealth of others will be punished by the law of the government and by the laws of the Yamraj after death, he continues cheating others to acquire money. Purport. Especially in these days, people do not believe in next life, are in the court of Yamraj and the various punishments of the sinful. But at least one should know that one who cheats others to acquire money will be punished by the laws of the government. Nonetheless, people do not care about the laws of this life or those governing the next. Despite whatever knowledge one has, one cannot stop his sinful activities if he is unable to control his senses. Hare Krishna. So, it's a very important verse. This verse talks about that if you cheat somebody, if our family maintenance, if you just want attach too much to the family maintenance, wife, children, nation, or extended family man, you want to have your name, fame, then you require money. And for money, if you cannot obtain by real means or by real business, really real business is agriculture. Others are somehow they make some products and they want to sell it, but it's many times more. But real that you are contributing to the society is by agriculture. Even Lord Krishna and Balramji came and they are showing that how to sustain, live simple, plain life without any sin by agrarian. In India, it used to be 85, even 95%, where people were depending one time, maybe 100 years ago, on agriculture. But now everybody is doing some enterprise, some kind of different businesses, or gambling, or many things have changed nowadays, and people are getting entrapped in cheating, being cheating and be cheated. These two kinds of people Prabhupada describes. Just I will, and people just try to steal, murder somebody. There are many examples you could read in the newspaper, bigger newspaper every day. Something is happening, and they get the whatever reward either in this life or in the next life. Most of the people don't believe that there is next life, or they have to suffer. Just like Dhritarashtra Maharaj, he was a pigeon 50 births ago, and then he had many small children were there, small birds were, but they were trapped by a hunter, and he burned them. And the parents, they also jumped in the fire. So this hunter, in the next life, he became Dhritarashtra Maharaj after 50 life, because he had some piety that was stopping him to give the results right away. But one suffers the results of what past karma. One cannot get out of laws of Yamaraj or laws of the Supreme Lord. We are like puppets in the material world, and we are being strings are there, and we are dancing, but it is not by our will, but it is by the will of the material nature that is Durga Devi, and Durga Devi is under the control, completely under control of the Supreme Lord. So rather than seeing or taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, we are taking shelter of this material nature, who controls us by these three strings, mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. We have to rise Traigunyo Vishaya Veda, next Traigunyo Bhavarjana. We have to go beyond even mode of goodness. So that way we could understand Krishna. In that goodness, we can realize about Krishna that there is some another life, not just this material life. So pages after pages, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, they teach us that human life should be simple, based on Krishna consciousness, not based on materialistic way of life. Eat, drink, and be merry. Yavat jivet, sukam jivet, rinam kratva gratam pevet. That you beg, borrow, or steal, just eat nicely. Have some woman to enjoy. Nowadays, if a boy gets a girl or a girl gets a boy, and they think that is perfection of their life, so they just go here and there, try to accumulate money and enjoy. Then they will need a house. Then there will be children. So their expansion of the material life increases more and more. And so if both are Krishna conscious, they could earn money, they could live nicely, but depending center of their activity is Krishna, not they themselves. But most of the people, they are ignorant about Krishna consciousness. And Prahlad Maharaj explains very nicely. He's explaining in these pages about although the children are demonic schoolmates, sons of demons, they never heard that. But Prahlad Maharaj heard from his spiritual master, Srila Narad Muni, and he's explaining to them that Prahlad Maharaj was simple, very exalted Vaishnava. Then his teachings were taken by these students very, very seriously. They all followed, they all became devotees. And so his instruction should be well taken. What he's giving, that is, he's giving not to those schoolmates, but he's telling about all of us. Like it's not the Arjun is the recipient of the Bhagavad Gita, but it is for posterity, for everybody, that we should follow those. Those are given by Krishna for all of us. So people don't understand. So I will just read some of those things about where are we really, what is our situation. And I will give a couple of stories that how we are trapped. One man in Tirupati Balaji. That's sometime not just recent story. And he was counting, he dedicated his life to serve. So he was counting the money because there was so much money is being donated. So when Dhirumal from Mumbai, he donated a gold ring, big gold with a diamond, very precious diamond. He's a very rich man, the best jeweler in Mumbai. So when I was they used to put everything in the hundi. So in counting, he was an honest man, but when he saw this ring, he became attracted to that. He thought it must be very, very valuable. Let me somehow, because there were so many security cameras are there. So somehow he grabbed it. He took it in one way or another without being recorded in the and by the security cameras. So he took that, he brought at home, then he took the jewelers, and he knew that it is very expensive, but other they said that we could not pay you for what it is worth. We don't have enough money to pay. So please go to some in South India, some places, and go to this. Then ultimately he comes to Mumbai. In Mumbai also other jewelers say that we cannot pay for this. What is the actual value? So please go to this Dhirumal jeweler, and he will be able to pay you. So he went to this jeweler. He saw the man, and then the man said, "Okay, it's very valuable. You just sit in So he put him in a room. He thought that he might be thinking or giving me big money. And then he called all the security guards and not only security police people. And because he is the one who donated that, he knew it is mine. He cannot buy that. This man who was just renounced could not buy such a ring. So then there were guns and all over the building was surrounded. He was amazed that I so cleverly I stole this, and now so he had to say that yes, it is I stole that from Tirupati Balaji. He was put in the jail. So people out of the greed or out of not knowing that what would be the result of stealing something, even if it is a minor thing, how it will affect and how it will carry those things up to the next life, or several lifetimes until he paid off. So this is one level of cheating. Cheating and be cheated. He was cheated. He thought that he's cheating, but he was cheated. So this is continuously in India. There is so much bribery and people they take, but they all have to pay. They accumulate so much money, and in India, in my own hometown, Khargon is a district place, and there is so much bribery. It goes on for little things. Getting just some permission to build or 165, that whether the land belonged to some Adivasi in past 100 years. And so at every level there is a cheating, and they accumulate. Each collector, I was told, that when they come in, they collect at least 2 crores of rupees. One time they come for a year or 2 year or whatever period, they take it from there. So you could imagine how much immense money they collect. But this is all, they cannot keep it or they cannot enjoy. Your enjoyment and suffering is already destined. It's all predestined what you have done in the previous life. So everything should be used for Krishna's service. If you are a big man and you could earn more, then it should not be for your enjoyment. It should be used for Krishna's service. Building temple, book distribution, prasad distribution, so on and so forth. There are many ways. Prabhupada says that if I get $10 million today, I will spend it tomorrow. So not to keep with you, because that will bind you, it will pollute your mind, and you will remain in the material world for time immemorial. You cannot just say you become cats and dogs where you cannot progress. So we are wherever we are. Like I will give another example that whether we are in America or India or wherever it is, even in we are in heaven or even in hell, we are in the material world. Hell is also in the material world. Heaven is also in the material world. So spiritual world and the material world, there are two things. The spiritual sky is called Paravyam and Chidakash, and the material world is manifested into existence, and that is destroyed again and again by the influence of time factor. So it's not that we could remain here permanently. We have to go from one life to another life. So the creation of this material world, wherein the conditioned souls are allowed to act subordinately by the Supreme Lord, takes place again and again, being repeatedly annihilated. The material creation is something like a cloud in the unlimited sky. The real sky is the spiritual sky, and this is a temporary sky. So we are eternally filled. Spiritual sky is filled with the Brahma Jyoti, and material world where we are, that is just a reflection from this Brahma Jyoti, or Krishna's effulgence that gives light to the sun. So we are all put into this material world if we want to lord it over the material nature. That is against the will of the Lord. The Lord wants that my children should play with me in the spiritual sky. Let them come to my abode in Golok Vrindavan. But rather we are allured by this temporary material world and Krishna. So this is a material world. Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. This place is a place of misery, temporary. So our place, that is called Bhurloka, that is there. So why do we come to this material world? What is the reason of coming to this material world? So the spirit souls are marginal energy, potency, tatastha shakti of the God. So spirit souls, we are either controlled by internal energy are the external energy. Means we cannot control the real controller. It's all under Krishna's control, even external energy headed by Durga Devi. So we are under control, our control of the spiritual Chida Shakti, or internal energy. So spirit soul is spiritual and it is part of the superior energy of the Lord. Constitutionally, in its pure state, the spirit soul lives in the spiritual world under the power of the internal potency of the Lord. But so he is engaged in loving service of the Supreme Lord. But because we are part and parcel of the God and God is full independence, we have a minute independence being part of the Supreme Lord. So we can decide to stay with God in a spiritual world, or we decided leave him and come to this material world. So God is Vancha Kalpataru. He fulfills our all the desires, desire fulfilling tree, and being a friend of the soul, fulfill our desire to come to this material world because we wanted to enjoy separately from the Supreme Lord. And now one may say, why he has given us this independence, or minute independence? Unless without independence, there is no law. For law, there has to be a independence that we could love or we may not love it. Otherwise, we are like robots, or we are like a stone who could be rolled over anywhere. So this, because Krishna wants to play with us, Krishna wants to see that how much children come back. He is always looking that we should come back to him, and that's why our most important duty is to put this other living being in charge, give them the knowledge that they could come to him, and Krishna becomes very, very happy. Yes, you chant and so you purify the atmosphere, but it is for your betterment, or it is for your relief from the material world. But Krishna wants that you bring other children also, para dukha dukhi, that they are suffering in the material world, they are rotting, let me give them instruction so they could come to Krishna. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is doing here, that he is bringing this forgotten souls, Asur Balak. But even he is there to teach those Asur Balaks also. And the best age for teaching is become 5 to 15-year-old. They could soak this knowledge. So from very beginning, if you teach them, it's very easy for them to take it. So this is material world is just the opposite to the spiritual world, the spiritual nature. It's full of suffering and misery, and it is temporary also. The spiritual world is full of eternal bliss and complete enjoyment. We want enjoyment, but enjoyment one cannot get here. Our spirit soul is longing for something that always, it never ends, it always increases. So it wants the bliss, it needs the ananda, which is not here in the material world. We think that absence of some suffering, we think it is ananda, but we have not seen what real bliss or ananda being shanti that we talk about is, unless we are part of Krishna and Krishna's movement. So Krishna's energy has no control over the spiritual world. Krishna's energy means external energy, has no influence on the spiritual world. The material world is like a prison in the God's creation. Sansara, Karagar. So we are Bhavasagar, we are in this material world. So Sansara Karagar, the prison house of material existence. This prison is the ocean of material existence. The Bhavasagar or Bhavapupa are in the deep dark well of material existence. This material existence is linked like to a forest fire. Sansara Davanala Leda Loka, a mirage of the material creation. So personification of this Mahamaya is the Durga Devi. This material world is like a Durga. Durga means a prison house. Kila. Durga Devi is like the jail superintendent and punishes the living entities through Tritap Klesh, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik. So she has trident in her hand, Trishul. So this trident represents the three kinds of misery that she is giving to the living entity in this material world. She is doing this. This is the thankless task for the God, that if we are serious, then she does not give her influences. She does not influence. She just, okay, you go ahead. So she only controls those who are not God conscious. Just like a parent or teacher will discipline a naughty child, ultimately for child's long-term benefit. The material world can be compared to a toilet, just like a person goes to the toilet, and as soon as they finish their business, they immediately they exit the bathroom. Same way, we should finish our material business and extricate ourselves by knowing from the material world. By knowing that this is temporary, we have to give up. It is not our permanent place. Like you go to a market, then you just buy a few things and go back. Our back home is Krishna's abode. So these three boys, we may think that we have golden chain, but it's all the same. The three boys, one boy of the king, the second is the son of the prime minister, and the third was the senapati, with the commander in chief, went to some another country, and they all three had the daughters. They found some girls, and then they fell in love with these girls of the country. The king soon fell in the love with the king's daughter. The prime minister's son fell in the love with the prime minister's daughter, and the senapati's son fell in love with the daughter of this country, senapati. They decided to marry, and when their parents come, they find it out, then they imprison them. That how dare they made their love or they touched their daughters, and so they were given. So they were given the golden chain. The king's son was given a golden chain. The other two were given silver or the iron chain. But chain is chain. They cannot think that they are better or greater because the golden circles in this material world, whether someone is in the lap of luxury or in the dire poverty, still they are shackled in the prison house of the material existence. We are bound by the modes of these gunas. We are all entangled by the tightrope of the material nature. When the living entity forgets its constitutional position that Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das, Krishna Bhuli Sei Jiva Anadi Bairmuk Atev Maya Tare De Sansara Duk. So when we forget that we are eternal servant of Krishna, he is immediately entrapped by the illusory external energy. He is endowed with inconceivable minute energy. The living entity is called the marginal because of the nature, the spiritual, because we are forgetful that we are part of the Krishna. We have taken this Durga Devi, material nature is inferior to us. We are in the middle position, but because the inferior nature is taken shelter of the superior nature, and we have given up that nature. That's why the superior, inferior nature traps us. Even we are higher in nature. We are a spiritual being, and material nature is not spiritual. It is part of spirit, but it is inferior energy of Krishna. Being in the marginal position, he is sometimes attracted by the external illusory energy, and this is the beginning of our material life. When he enters the material energy, he is subjected to the threefold time measurements: past, present, and future. Kal, past. So this is past, present, future is only in the material world. In spiritual world, time is there is no time for factor. Time is Kal. Kal is not there because they remain same. There is no changes. This Kal causes so many changes. It comes in there. It lives for some time. It creates grows, creates byproducts, dwindles, and dies. This is for everything, including the universes also. They go through these 6 changes. So in this way, because we are trapped because of our desire to enjoy the material nature, enjoy himself in competition with Krishna, the living entity comes into material existence. So rather than competing with Krishna as an enjoyer, we want to become enjoyer, but we are not the enjoyer. We cannot never take position of Krishna. So we are rather to be served. If we serve, means we are rather to serve the Supreme Lord, and we are being part and parcel. Then if Supreme Lord is happy, we are happy. If the root of the tree is watered, then whole tree becomes green and nice. But if you want to enjoy separately from the tree, like branches and leaves and twigs and flowers and fruits, They have to be the watering process is the root, and root sarva karana karanam, root cause is Krishna. So, but we are so much addicted to suffering, and that we don't want to live this material world. We are being kicked in so many lifetimes from anadi karma phale padi bhavanava jale tari bare na dekhi upaya. So we have, so God teaches through the Vedic spiritual texts how to free from this bondage of suffering. Like there was a man who was very hungry, and he was pressing his stomach with the pillar, and then he would not give up that because his pain was subsided. He says that, so he was suffer, but people say that you give up and eat some. We are giving you, donating you, but he would not do that because he has that. If I live, my pain would come back again. So same thing, we are addicted to this suffering. Otherwise, so many instructions are there. Why don't we take this instruction very seriously and get out of this Maya, the entrapment of the Maya? Maya is holding material allurement just in front of the living entity, just like in front of the ass that you just put a green grass and tied it down to his body and neck. Then he thinks, I will get it right away. So we are running behind this for enjoyment, that I will do this, I will do this, many plans, and that never comes. It's like a shake chili, or it is like a mirage in the desert, and the deer runs until he dies. So we are running behind this, and then we die. And that if I have this, I get this job, I get this degree, whatever according to your karma, one gets it. He enjoys or suffer, but offer, if he has more, he could offer it to Krishna. If he has maintain the family, but family should be all Krishna conscious, God conscious, and then it could run nicely. But otherwise, there is always fighting. Happiness is there in our doorstep. Paramatma is there. We should look at him and learn him. The spirit soul, the jiva becomes bewildered with this false promise of Maya and continues working hard, life after life, in this false expectation of finding real happiness. Material world has been proclaimed by the Lord as a place of suffering. So there would be suffering. So the ass goes to the she ass to enjoy sex with her, but she kicks him in the face. Still he tries. So in this same way, the living entity are working hard and running after Maya. Maya always kicks them on the face, but they do not understand and still pursue the false happiness. So temporary relief or reduction of suffering is foolishly considered as a real happiness, but we have not seen the real happiness. So real happiness is in Krishna, our spiritual world, because he is Rasovaisa. He is Ras. Ras means Ananda. Rasam evayam labdva anandi bhati. Until we get that ras, we cannot be blissful. We cannot be happy. Material world. So no happiness in this material world. We are constantly suffering. So happiness is in Krishna, not in us. So just like it is all Bhavakup. So one man was walking through the dense forest. You all have heard these stories. It's not nothing new. So it would take a very short time. Due to the darkness or negligence, he fell into this dry well. And when he was falling in desperation, he caught hold of some ropes and thus saved himself from falling right into the bottom of the well. He was hanging in the middle of the well, holding these ropes. So I am very fortunate. The main thing that I am saved today. If I had fallen to the bottom, then I would have died. Then he looks down. There was a big python opening his mouth that this man would come down or fall, and then I will be able to eat. He looks up, and then he says that there is a hungry tiger, and he will devour him. And then he was hanging on the rope. But in between, so there is death either down or up. There is death everywhere, all around. But then some drops of honey is coming in his mouth. That there was a honeycomb, and then he thought, oh, it is so enjoyable, and he feels that I let me just stay here. Then he sees that there is a black and white rats are cutting that rope, and he may fall down at any time. But he is enamored by this the sweetness of the honey, and he does not plan or anything that how to get out of that. Same thing that we just little happiness is there, and we don't see that there is death personified is there all around us, and we may die at any time. He thinks I will live here eternally and enjoy, but there is no eternal life, and so we do so many sinful activity because of this little bit enjoyment in form of the honey. So it is very precarious condition, situation in this world. But we are not careful. We are busy enjoying our material family life. This enjoyment of materialistic family life is compared to the drops of honey. We are so preoccupied in enjoying in this way that we do not care or do not recognize that it is what a dangerous position we are in. If we understand that dukha dosha, we should see always that there is a suffering. So how to get out of that? And that is only the way is Krishna consciousness. So just because of this little happiness, we are living in this material world and don't want to give up this material world. So we have to understand our precarious position. So we don't understand what is the real problem of life. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Doshanudarshana. These are the real problem. To get out of this again, not to take birth again and again, Jara and Vyadhi and Mrityu. So this is all, is only the process is Krishna consciousness. There is no other way. There is no Gyan Marg or any another Marg or Karma Kanda. People have created so many kandas or so many ways, but one cannot extricate themselves from this material world unless they take to Krishna consciousness, with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu being the Supreme Lord taught us. Srila Prabhupada taught us in Parampara. We got it from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaja. So they are sitting together. So many rishis, like they sit and decide. Like there is near Lucknow, there is a place Naimisharanya, and they gather together. They could not hear the Bhagavatam, many rishis from the higher planetary system. So they sit on a wheel, and the wheel is rotating and come down to that Naimisharanya. And then they have 1,000 years of sacrifice, yagya, and discussions that how everybody could be happy. And then they come out at the process about there are 5 things are there in one place. That is the real process, and that process everybody should be able to apply. It should be told in the Shastra. It should be told that if we don't follow the Shastra, what happens, and any living being can join this, and at any time, place, even somebody is old, young, anyone can take to this process. So that is only Krishna consciousness. Everything else depends on Krishna, but this is completely independent. The process of Krishna consciousness does not depend on your age, karma kand, or any particular place. Wherever you are, you can take to this process. Maya Mugdha Jivira Nahi, Swata Krishna Gyan, Jivira Krapaya Kaile, Krishna Veda Puran. That Krishna is Ved Puran, that is by the Krishna's mercy he has given us. He comes as a literary incarnation and gives up this. The living entity forgets his real identity as the spirit soul, Brahman, and instead of realizing his factual position, thinks himself the product of the material energy. We are not the product. Yaya samohito jiva atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manute nartham tatkritam chavi padyate. Due to the external energy, the living entity, although they are transcendental to the 3 modes of material nature, thinks of himself as a material product and thus undergoes the reactions of the material miseries. So this is how the Maya acts upon this conditioned soul. They think that they are a product of the material energy, and so the conditioned soul engages in the service of the material energy in so many ways. They become servants of the lust, anger, greed, envy. So thus the conditioned souls totally becomes a servant of the illusory energy. Later, the bewildered soul becomes servant of the material speculation. So energy, but in that I would be happy, I will do this. So they speculate. rather than reading Shastra and understanding what is our duty. So in any case, they are simply covered by the illusory energy. So the forgetfulness conditioned soul is educated by Krishna through the Vedic literature, the realized spiritual master, and the super soul. Through this, he can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as he is, and he can understand that Krishna is the eternal master and deliverer from the clutches of Maya. Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hradeshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmyan Sarvabhutani Yantra Rudhani Maya. That we are so our body there is Supreme Lord in form of Paramatma, and we should look at him. He will give us instruction, but we have to be purified to hear the instruction. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayantite. So by that we could come to Krishna. Tesham Satati Yuktanam Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. In any process, there is certain rules and regulations. So we have to follow the rules and regulations. And if we follow chanting, following these four regulatory principles, helping others to come back to Krishna's abode, opening some, like distributing books, so many ways are there. So conditioned soul is always helped by the Supreme Master and a super soul within the heart. The Lord is the deliverer of the conditioned soul and is accepted as the Supreme Lord of the living entity. So Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, give all this your own concocted religiosity. Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, he wants Ek Chhatra Rajya, only to him, not to demigods, not to any bogus sadhus or anything. Pure Guru and in Parampara. So Ham Tvam Sarva Papibhyo Mokshakshami Masucha. So same instruction is there in all the Vedic literature. Sadhu, Shastra, Guru act as a representative of Krishna. The Krishna consciousness movement is also taking place all over the universe. Whoever takes advantage of this opportunity, he becomes liberated. Material world is a place of suffering and full of dangers. कबू स्वर्गे उठाए, कबू नरके डुबाए, dande jane raja yena nadi de chubhaye. This material world is like some prisoner is there, and the servants of the king, they pull him up to punishing him out of the water, and means he is almost breathless, but he comes out just for few seconds, and then again they dip him back. That is his punishment. So what happens? Oh, it is so nice when he comes out, but then again he will be dipped back again in that well. He does not realize, and he thinks it's very. So same thing, the little enjoyment we get, and we become so much enamored that it's a very nice place. Let me stay here. Let me do by cheating or by taking advantage of others. Let me by hook or crook, let me earn the money. But they have to suffer in the material world. So this family life that we get so much enamored, children, this. So we should not get attached. We should get attached. I'm not saying that one should not have family and everybody in material world, everybody. And even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his disciples, they were all family men. And Krishna, Arjuna was a family man, and Krishna taught him. So this knowledge, so mostly the family man is nothing from, but both has to be devotees. And like the train, railway tracks, they go parallel. So parallel, they should go together. So Krishna bring forgotten souls back to Krishna's lotus feet, and otherwise we have to go through this cycle of birth and death and suffer in the material world perpetually. So we should come under the Chida Shakti. Devi Esha Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratya, Mama Ye Prapadyante, Maya Vetan Tarantite. Living entity becomes attached to many temporary phantasmagorical forms. What is phantasmagoria? It is like somebody's limb is cut, and then the nerve endings are still there. Because of the nerve endings, they feel that I have the limb. Or there is sometimes spurious pregnancy, that one wants to become so much pregnant, one lady, and then she feels that her abdomen is increasing and she is enlarged breast, and there is sometimes some milk, but it is just because of the mental concoction. One just thinks and physically it has the effect physically also. So rather than thinking in a phantasmagorical way, we should be thinking what the Shastra says, what the Guru says, not by our own way. So we have to get a spiritual master. We have to go out and understand through him that is it correct or not, and not by our own way. Guna Vyatikaram, dedicating himself to the mundane piety, economic development, sense gratification, speculation, in which he regards the absolute as lacking variety and personality, which he assumes to be product of the interactions of the nature's modes. It's not a spiritual word, or it is just like people becoming Mayavadis, and Krishna has no qualities. He has to accept the Maya as if Maya has become more. These Advaitavadis, that Maya is more potent, and Krishna takes the form because of the Maya. So Maya is his dasi, not the controller of Krishna. So Bhagavad Dharma, devotees have no need to fear the bondage of material existence. That fear goes away of its own accord for one who engages in devotional service. So 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam and talks many things that Bulia, Tomara, Sansare Ashiya, Pe Nana Vidha Vyatha, Tomara Charane, Ashiyachi Ami, Bolibu, Dukhe Hera Katha. Bhaktivinoda Thakur and many they are in their writing, they write about this material world, how dangerous it is, and we have to take it seriously, not superficially. Depend on us, and our whole life should become Krishna conscious. It's enjoyable. You could have trips, you could go outside, you could be to, but it's all you do kirtan there, some place about Krishna, so you could enjoy much more. But this material enjoyment is very dangerous, because each person is trying to take advantage of another person, cheaters and be cheated. So rather than having association with non-devotees, one should have association with devotees and lead their life and serve Krishna, because nothing is going back with you. Everything would remain here. It does not mean that you should not earn. You earn, but then use whatever according to your karma. You cannot get more or less according to whatever you have done. You will get it, and then use it for Krishna's service. Don't use it for your own enjoyment. So I will end here. If there is any questions or comments or any additions, you please unmute and we can discuss those things. Thank you for giving me opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful class. If anyone have any further questions or realization, please go ahead with devotees. Hare Krishna, Shivakumar Prabhuji, please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Shivakumar Prabhu.
Thank you Prabhuji for the class today. Prabhuji, one question Prabhuji on the devotee association. When we kind of associate a little closely with devotees, Prabhu, who are advanced than us, at times we see that they are also acting in a way which I am not able to understand. It seemed to be, at least to me, not in line with the Shastra, Prabhuji, a little weird way, which makes demotivated sometimes to take more and more association, Prabhuji. So I just wanted to hear from you, how can we approach devotee association and your guidelines, your advice in a more matured way, Prabhuji? I mean, I could understand in some of the bitter experience. I also have a lot of learnings. I could see that. I make a note of it and I correct myself. But still, there is also some part on the other devotee also, Prabhu, which kind of demotivates to take more closer association. Just wanted to hear from you.
Yeah, very wonderful question. Very nice. And we could be trapped by somebody's maybe just making it up or trying to become a very nice devotee, but actually they are not. So we cannot really criticize, but we should seek somebody who has shown by their life's record, who are more advanced. So you could ask about somebody, like say you go to Vrindavan, there are many highly elevated devotees. Then you ask somebody whom that I should associate. So only association, just one person. You don't, like I went to Harinam Press and he gave me 5 different names of the very advanced sadhus. that you could go and meet them. So in the same way, you could approach some very senior that he may not have time, but he could recommend you that you should associate with them. Association does not mean that you have to be there all the time or be with him or live with him. Lava matra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hai. If it is a like say one, I mean, I'm just giving an example out of ISKCON, that Premananda Maharaj, when he goes early morning at even 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, thousands and thousands lakhs of people, they uh, stand in their line just to have a glimpse. Just getting a glimpse of the person, it could purify our heart. Not that you have to go with him and listen to him or ask many, many questions. Same way, ISKCON has many, many exalted Vaishnavas, uh, and you could. I don't want to name some and leave behind some others. That's why I'm not naming them, but there are, and so you should ask uh, some senior Vaishnava that whose shelter I should take or whom I should associate and take instruction from them. But also there are book Bhagavat, person Bhagavat and book Bhagavat. So you study books also. You spend your time with literature and exalted and people. There are so many books that have come. Not that you have to go through all the books, but at least Prabhupada wants that his book should be read by everybody. All my people who are Krishna conscious or who are in that line, they should read at least these 5 books completely. Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. You could read Chaitanya Bhagavat, that is some part which is not given in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. You could have from there also nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. If you could read those and then maybe some books associated with those, not too many books, not too many to meet with so many people and live with them, and but serve your own spiritual master, serve them heart, because somehow Krishna just sees that, just like he Indrari Vyakulam Loke Bharadayanti Yogi Yogi. Krishna appointed Indra is the chief of the demigods. And he makes some mistakes also. Many, many times, not just one time. But he supports Indra because he appointed him. So same way, if somebody is in a senior position, you try to serve the temple, bring other people to Krishna's lotus feet by distributing books, prasad serving, cooking, keeping the place clean, that more and more people could come, have nice garden. So there are many ways that one can serve. And the desire has to be there. Even if somebody is working, they could do on the weekend, they could serve, or on the evening hours and the weekdays, or whenever you have some vacation, rather than going to far off place in vacation and spending your hard-earned money. You could just okay, let me give it to the local temple. Let me make a nice garden there. Let me cook nicely. Let me serve so people may be attracted to come. So Prabhupada has created in such a way that everybody could be engaged. He built a house in which everybody can live together. It's not that they will come in the temple and build a temple, but everybody lives in their house following Krishna consciousness. Same. I went to many, many temples. Their routine is the same. Same time. Mangal Arti, Ditis Prasadam, Prasad time, going out, Sankirtan. So one can do this Sankirtan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recommends his main process is Sankirtan movement. His advantage for this Sankirtan movement. His internal desire are different, but his main process of coming is Sankirtan. So we should also engage in Sankirtan. Sometimes we feel shy in going out and what they will say. But let the people think anything. But you go in your Vaishnava attire, Kartal, Mradanga, with other people and distribute books, talk to them. Yare dekho tare kaho Krishna Upadesh, Amara kya hai Guru tare desh. Not that you have to take a title Guru, but that is Guru that you are telling them that chant Krishna's name. Bolo Krishna, kaho Krishna, karo Krishna Sikha. That you chant the name, Krishna Shiksha. So Bolo Krishna, Karo Krishna means act for Krishna. Do something, service to Krishna. And then whatever Krishna has given Shiksha in Bhagavad Gita, you tell others. So everybody could become Guru and give this Krishna consciousness. And it is prediction of Krishna that ब्रह्मांड ब्रह्मते कौन भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्ण प्रसाद का भक्ति लता बीज, but then you have to give it to others also. Your seed is given. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction is there's that every town and village my name would be there. So it is already destined that it will come. The Maya is also becoming stronger and Krishna consciousness is becoming stronger. Now many people there is hardly any place in Vrindavan that people could come and go. Far away, millions of people they come and go there. Because it is place of Krishna where he enacted his pastime. But wherever you are, there is instruction by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He made Kurma Brahman in and Kurma Brahman wanted to go with Chaitanya. He says, no, sthani sthiti, stay in your home and just preach the cult of Krishna consciousness. You don't have to go outside. Stay there. Same thing, Vasudev leper. He was leprosy all over the body. Even he was so kind that even the maggots will fall down. He'll put them on his back again that they will die. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw him. He became very happy. He embraced him. Nobody would even come close to him because of his smell. But when he was completely cured immediately, and then he became so beautiful. He said that, my Lord, now I will become so much proud. And then the Lord blessed him that he would not get proud because of your beautiful body and young age, and he was cured. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says he also wanted to come with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, no, you stay there. So if you are worshipping, you are Krishna conscious, wherever you are, that place is like Vaikuntha, that is Dham. Dham means where activity of Krishna did his pastimes. Just like Vrindavan or Jagannath Puri or Dwarka or many such places, Mayapur, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enacted his pastimes. So one should go there. Prabhupada wanted that one should go to their batteries getting recharged in such places, holy dhams. But then stay in your place and preach. If you have 1 hour, go for 1 hour. Because you want to enjoy with the family and watch TV and earn more money or speculate, and then that way we could not spend time. But one should go even with your own children. Go out and preach. Go to temple, invite people, sit on the reception area and do something, talk to them. Not that we should remain silent. Silent for gossiping or Gramya Katha, but for preaching, you could speak. Okay, means there are many instructions that has been given. What can I give? But your question is that somebody may be not as, but so don't look with see their goodness rather than looking their weakness. They are also human beings. There may be some weakness from previously that they have done. So don't look at those. Just see what good they are doing. That would be more better than seeing that, oh, he's also fallen, he also does like this. That should not be there. You see good qualities in somebody if you want to associate. Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhu, for the detailed answer. I'm making a note of it, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Shukakari Prabhuji. Please go ahead with your question, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Adapriya Mataji, Adapriya Mataji. Hare Krishna, Samik, Rishi, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Shukra Prabhuji.
So nice, so nice. I got your number. I'll call you very soon because we have some big projects coming for the temple. I will need your support, Maharaj, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Prabhu, now I want to know, we are discussing so much about getting induced in the material activities and knowing very well that chanting is the only thing which can help us to get rid of all problems. But 24 hours time is they're still not able to get the taste for chanting and not able to get absorbed to the chanting. Prabhupada said, if you just keep chanting, that's enough, because Maya will not come. But hearing Katha and all are interesting, but the chanting is just morning 16 round, 20 round, then finish. You don't feel that continuity, which is a great asset, like Prahlad Maharaj got saved, protected because 24 hours chanting. And many times, many devotees come who are attending my class, for religion they are doing, but they are not able to, sometimes they're getting allured and they're breaking some principles. So these two things, can you just highlight how the taste of chanting and how to be very strictly following 4 regular principles?
Test of chanting if we are pure. If we are following all the rules, regulation, and purity, purity is the force that will give us test for chanting. If we are not pure, and we should read what are the advantage of chanting. Like some man who is really wants to earn money, he will see where is possibility. The same thing that I get test, that test will come. And that is so sweet. Like Rupa Goswami wants hundreds of tongues to chant. He wants hundreds of thousands of years. And when it goes in the courtyard of the heart, then he becomes very happy. So chanting the happiness or chanting sweet will come, but it will take time according to our purity. If we are still sinful, still engaged in sinful activity, thinking something material way how I can enjoy in the material world, then naturally the test would not come. So it is, we have to purify our mind, purify our heart, purify our intelligence even. So all these things, when they are pure, then only Atha Sri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahiyam indriye. It is just externally. So it will come automatically, whether one lifetime or another lifetime. That it will come. Nayanam galadasho dharaya vadanam gadgadrodaya gira pulakir nichitam apukada tava nama grane bhavishati. You pray to the Lord that when that day would come, that tears would come, my hairs would stand and end by chanting, but it takes time. So dhairya, dhiraj. So keep patience and it will come. And what was your other question was?
That people knowing the rules, if you put the hand on the fire, it will get burned out. Knowing that still the mind is getting agitated to do the things which is not.
Yes, they have not read the suffering and hear about the suffering of others, how they suffer when they put their hand on the fire. So fanned with the material nature is more like sansar itself is like a davana, is like a forest fire, which cannot be extinguished unless it is Krishna's hand. He throws so much water, pours rain, torrents of rain, that could only extinguish this fire. So we are all burning in the material world, don't understand, have itching disease that we enjoy in this material world. So Maya is alluring us. So we should understand it is the hand of Maya who is throwing us, who is alluring us, who is telling us, is covering our intelligence. So our knowledge has been covered by Maya. And we should understand it is hand of Maya, which is keeping us away from Krishna. So if we somehow learn through the scripture, learn through the sadhu, shastra, so all these are there, then we could be out of this Maya's influence on us. That happiness is there in the material world. We see so many, there is no happiness, but still we think it is happiness. So when we see, like in Bhagavatam, there are 28 kinds of hellish planets and how they suffer. So if we read it more and more, why it is given in Bhagavatam, just to show us that there is a hellish planet? No, we experience that if I do this would be the result. I also have to go. Then naturally, we will be fearful. This man who stole this diamond, although he was very much fearful that somebody may caught him, but he was caught just in this. He was trying to steal Balaji's donation, and then he was put in the prison for a long period of time. So those are there, that there is. So we should read these descriptions from Bhagavatam, not newspaper and all this, because they don't give any alternative. But here they give example and alternative. What should be our mentality? And main thing is devotee association is very important. You may say whether devotee is bogus or whatever it is. So one should not associate with anyone, everyone, but associate with advanced devotee. Just by their presence, it makes a difference. Because
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, have time, Prabhuji?
Yeah, what is the time now? I don't see that.
8:20.
8:20. It's 1 hour has gone. Okay, another 5 minutes. If there is any quick question, I can.
Okay, Prabhuji. Anjana Gopika Mataji, please go ahead with the question, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Danat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Always very, you get a lot of purity from your side when you hear the class, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have one doubt. I was reading the Bhagavatam. Prabhupada was a Kardama Muni part from third canto, and then when he saw Lord Vishnu face to face, and Prabhupada was, he had a material desire to get a nice wife, and then Prabhupada was putting in the purport, means Kardama Muni was not the level of not pure devotion, but he was saying he has not reached in that level, so he could be fully full sannyasi, or he had still material desire. According to that, he has given that a special benediction to get a wife. And a special advancement means. I was just thinking by reading that even Kardama Muni in that stage he saw Vishnu face to face, but still his material desire was there. Means how this Kaliga people utilize the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, because I feel myself with lot of material desire is going on, so many unlimited desire, and Mahaprabhu's mercy is there, and then I don't know, is there any hope for me, Prabhuji? How can we get that mercy? It's so many material desire is there same time, and then even the Kardama Muni was not qualified. How can we Kaliga people we can get this kind of qualification to get pure love of God? Prabhuji, that was my question. I was getting confused.
Okay. No, very nice. Nice question that you are putting. See, Kardama Muni, sometime Krishna puts their own devotees on a line that we could learn in many, many ways. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had his own mother to show us the effect of Vaishnava Aparadha. His own mother, he would not bless her, or he would not show his form when there was a 24-hour. He was showing to different, even sometimes 7 days that he showed and benedicted everybody. But because she was thinking in her mind, even not outwardly, she did not say that my elder son Vishwarup was, because he was going and studying with Advaita Acharya, he must have done something or taught him something wrong. He made my son sannyas. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also attending, like going to Advaita Acharya's house, and she was very much worried that my this Vishwambar, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, may also take sannyas. He did take sannyas, but she was feeling ill about Advaita Acharya. So Vaishnava Aparadha makes us that we cannot advance further. So that should be avoided at any cost. And now you say that Kardama Muni, he was a pure devotee, he would not desire any good wife and children, but Krishna wanted to come in the womb of this Kardama Muni's wife. Her name was Manu and
Devahuti.
Devahuti. But she had Kapil Dev as her son, and he gave all this Sankhya philosophy. So sometime for some purpose, they put their devotees in such a situation that they may not look very advanced, but they are advanced devotees. How Kapil Dev do? Not only that he saw Krishna face to face or Narayan, but even in his own family, his own son was Kapil Dev, the personality of Godhead. So we should not look those, we should just read and learn from those stories rather than putting our mind that he was, Prabhupada writes in the purport, he was not a pure devotee. Otherwise, he would not go through all this marriage and creating a big aeroplane that he could go to all the different places. He made his 9 forms and have 9 children altogether. 9 daughters were, I think, Kardama Muni, and then they all died. And then there was Kapil Dev came after these 9 children. So he gives a special potency like Maharaj Chitraketu. Maharaj Chitraketu could not have a child. He conceived a child. Then he saw Krishna face to face. He was going on the aeroplane, but then he criticizes Parvati Devi. And how come you are sitting in the assembly, sitting on the lap of Lord Shiva? And she cursed him. And he took the curse very nicely. So that is also for us to learn. And that to advance people, advance means so much supreme, a kind of like supreme personality of Godhead. You cannot criticize, cannot see any faults in that. So we should not see falsity in others. We should see our own, that how we are fallen, rather than taking information from Bhagavatam and putting their own, they have done like this, so I can do like this. Krishna marries, that's what the people do. Krishna steals clothing of the young girls, he steals the butter, he dances at midnight. I could also do it. But we are not Krishna. We are just tiny little soul, and we just follow in their footsteps, not mimicking what they are doing. So Kapil Muni, anyway, he's very highly elevated. But these things like you, Prabhupada writes in the purport, so we also become careful. Because he wanted to enjoy with his wife, but that is spiritual also enjoyment. It may not be the first class or completely just like even Narad Muni is like in a Das Bhav. Pure example is gopis, how they surrendered and wanted to see that Krishna is happy. So there may be another question, how we say that whether his spiritual master or Krishna is happy or not. Only you could know if your desires, material desires to enjoy the material world, that reduces and becomes null. Then you are advancing. But if you are still hankering to enjoy material world, then that is not purity. That desire is there in everybody, but you transform this desire to spiritual desire, not material desire. So spiritually advance means your material desire, disease is becoming curtailed gradually. The strongest is sex life. Just by seeing anyone opposite sex, you feel that maybe I could enjoy him or her. So that is a bad tendency. We should see as anybody you see as mother or father rather than part of our enjoyment. And then having many things that I could enjoy. Even the last snare of Maya, profit, adoration, and distinction. Many people get trapped by this, that I get profit by this doing, that I'm adored, I'm glorified. So desire, and we should feel, oh, he's higher than that, higher than everybody, distinguished, separate position. So we are a part of Krishna, and we are all together trying to serve Krishna. So everybody is same servant of Krishna. And we should not look that I should get my sense gratification. Out of respect, you honor somebody, you give a higher seat, but one should not desire that he should have this, he should be given first. Somebody is not given a mala, then you feel that, oh, I should have that. Garland should be given to me. Then we become, whatever circumstances, you be satisfied in whatever position you are. And try. Krishna sees that. One should see that. Somebody may not see, but Krishna is seeing, and he recognizes that, and he rewards you. This temporary profit, adoration, distinction is not the best thing. One should not look for those.
But Kardam Muni actually, he was instructed to go for creation by Brahma. That's why he asked. Otherwise, he would have asked this question that I want a beautiful wife. And after getting the wife also, he was doing penances for many years, and he tested her that whether she is really a chaste wife and as the daughter of Swayambhu Manu. And then as soon as the son is born, he went for the forest. He was not just interested in sexual activity and staying there. And Krishna was happy to come as his son. So he is a very elevated, beautiful devotee, Kardam Muni, because he didn't go to get a wife to do the penance. He was instructed to go for creation. That's why he asked the boon that I want a wife. And Krishna himself told, I am so happy with your penance, I will come as your son. He got
Right.
all the daughters, then Krishna came as son. And as soon as the son came, he said, I know you are the you are a supreme Lord, but I am just going because as a Vanaprastha, it's my duty to go. I could have spent time with you because I am going to forest again to meet you there. But take care of your mother, and he went away. So Kardam Muni's level is something great where people should understand what is. Sorry, thank you. It's my observation.
No, thank you for discussing.
Thank you.
I see another hand if anybody else has any.
Yes. Dhanvat Pranam Maharaj. Dhanvat Pranam. So my question is that in the process of spiritual practice and advancement, like when we try to increase our rounds or, chanting and, go ahead, if there are, we do get triggered or, we, like if there are people around who try to say that, why are you practicing so intently? You should not be going so intensely deep in the practice, or they are not on the same path of Krishna consciousness. So how do we tackle that? Because the triggers are too strong, and then out of anger, all the practice, all the sadhana that's done, that it comes nullifies. So how do we resist, the urge to fall down? Like how do we deal with that? How do we handle it?
Okay. See, many people are ignorant about Krishna consciousness. People who are commenting, and so rather than trying to mimic or rather than trying to help others, this material world is a dangerous place. So don't listen to their comments. They may be doing, but you are strongly attached to your guru, your sadhana, your practice. You're going to temple regularly. Because there are all kinds of people. They may like to go with them with a movie or any another place of enjoyment. Going there but seeing Krishna, say in the nature, then you could see Krishna in the nature. That how beautiful. So how much beautiful would be the spiritual world. So you see in a different way. So one can learn by going, like say your family members may like to go for some natural places. So you see Krishna in those natural places rather than that I'm enjoying here. It's very, very nice. So put Krishna in your life wherever there is such situation comes, rather than thinking that I'm enjoying it's very nice, and try to follow the rules. Means food eaten outside and how it contaminates and the mind. So always offer your food, but rather than cook your own food, and that would be. So there are many rules, regulation. Whatever best way that we can follow, we do that. Otherwise, just try to be home more thinking. See, there is sacrifice in whether it is family life, and everybody, each other is pulling other side, and your friends are saying that why you are practicing this, what is do in the old age. No, but this is the age. Prahlad Maharaj, we are reading teachings of Prahlad.
Yes.
He says it start your practice from 5-year-old. But who parents are giving instruction at age of 5 years? So, Kaumarat Acharat Pragya. And one who's intelligent gives this instruction from very childhood. But very few we are in at such atmosphere, contaminated atmosphere. It's difficult to follow, but we just go gradually and gradually. It purifies our mind. But if we go and you don't go flow away or just wash away with the waves of the material energy, but try to hold. We have to become strong. See, it's a very few people who could take to pure Krishna consciousness. Krishna himself says that. Manushanam Shastreshu Kashi Yatapi Siddhe Yatamapi Siddhanam Kashinam Veti Tatvata. Out of thousands, very few people could take to this. So at least you are taking it, that's glorious. So you feel that is Krishna is promising, and I will advance and take hold of his lotus feet. Okay.
Prabhuji, I understood, but I still have one question that when we do feel upset, sometimes when, if someone says something and I feel upset about it, that about my practice, like that, it's a false information. I know it's false information, but then I get angry, and then I do try to control it, but then if it I know that there is no correct answer to the question. So how do I understand that feeling, and how do I deal with that feeling so that it does not I can advance further.
Just ignore like somebody, you don't take it. Then don't take it because of your knowledge, advanced knowledge in Krishna consciousness. Just accept it because this will happen all over the material. But like you heard about some that he was going to take bath and then some Muslim would spit on him 100 times. And he said that I became purified. So I have some. So you try to, it happen. It's a difficult. It's not that easy. Your own children, your own family members are criticizing and you are doing good according to the Shastra. So that would be there. So don't expect that if you are God conscious, people would appreciate or people would follow. And don't try to take it on yourself. So these things would happen gradually. Don't become entrapped by, because you want that somebody should not tell you anything. That is the tendency. But material world is full of criticizing, and so ultimately they will be cheated. So you don't feel that. Make yourself stronger, so you don't come in under the this what somebody is saying and criticizing. You are a wonderful devotee and try to take to that practice. Okay, let others say. जैसे कहते हैं ना हिंदी में, राजा चले बाजार कुत्ते होते भूखे हजार. That if king is going, so many dogs will bark, but that does not mark that king should not go on a procession. So you are doing like a king, so you continue your chanting activity. That is very glorious. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even people during time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were chanting, and then so many people were, they are waking up at night time and they don't have enough food, and they were used to blaspheme, and even there are many, they stopped their Sankirtan movement. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only went to Chankazi's place, that you cannot stop this. He as a like Narsingadevan, he saw Chankazi's chest had so much mark of the nails of the lion. So he understood that. So let people say, when you are in the place, there would be people who would criticize. So do it more silently, do it more in your heart. Krishna sees the heart also, that you are strong enough and don't get prey to this criticism. But it is there, you would respond, but according to the time, place, position, circumstances, you don't take it in your heart. Okay. Thank you so much. No, it's a very nice, very wonderful question. I appreciate that you are bringing it. And okay.
Thank you so much for your nice answer. Prabhuji, in chat box, one question is there. Do you have time, Prabhuji?
What question is there?
Yeah, Jyoti Mataji is asking one question, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. When a devotee or follower will be able to see material world things in use in Krishna's service?
Yeah, anything material, because material and energy and spiritual energy, it is just the change. If you are using for our sense of gratification, it is material. If anything you are using for your own house, your own children, if you see the flower, how nice it would be if I could use it for Krishna service. That's a Krishna consciousness. You could grow or ask that can we take some flowers. So our vision should be to use everything for Krishna service. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was very a scholar, and Srivas Thakur would think that if he could be a devotee, how nice it would be. Means he is Supreme Lord, but he's seen, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came when he accepted his Guru, Ishwar Puri, and he completely changed. So we should see every opportunity to serve Krishna by whatever means, by your own house, by your own children, by your own possessions, by your own gardens, by your own cows. One man brings some milk every day. He says that, yes, my milk should be offered to Krishna in our temple. I'm talking about in Khargon. So many things like this could happen. So it's a good reason to see that those things should be used for Krishna. because he's the real owner.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Mataji is asking one more question, Prabhuji. How we all understand our spiritual master is happy?
If you are acting properly, he would be happy, and you could even ask him also whether what service I should do, or you want me to change, or how he is happy, his spiritual master. One thing you could ask directly, that is one. Secondly, if your consciousness is good, then naturally he will feel happy also. Means you feel that I have done a reasonable service for him, then he would be happy. So something according to his order, that you fulfill whatever. If he's asking you certain service and you are doing it, then naturally he will be happy. You are not against him, so that he would be happy. But your own heart would tell you that yes, you will be more satisfied by doing some service. So naturally, that's it. Krishna, with spiritual master, is Chaitya Guru in your Chetna, and his also external representation is the Guru. So both are simultaneously. So if you are happy, because you have learned all the scripture that I have done the right thing, then he would be happy. Like Prabhupada gave somebody, you go to China, you go to Pakistan, and you preach. Naturally, he was happy. But somebody is not listening and not doing it, then that is something different. Then sometimes there is some arguments, and it would happen, I want this service, that service. But whoever followed Prabhupada pure duty, then and done it, then they are glorious. They have done their job. They would be happy, and Prabhupada would be happy. So same thing, his spiritual master is a representative of Chaitya Guru, Paramatma also.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if nobody have any questions, we can end the call here, Prabhuji, with your permission. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you, and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji. Panchakalpatarubhesha Krupa Sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanobhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
His Grace Samik Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai ho. Gauranga. Nityananda. Gauranga. जय जय श्री गोविंद धाम सबको मिले वृंदावन धाम गोवर्धन गिरिराज लाल की जय हो वासुदेव धाम की जय हो जगन्नाथ धाम की जय हो ललिता दीनबंधु प्रभु की जय हो
जय हो जय हो जय हो
हरे कृष्ण
बाय बाय हरे कृष्णा जय
मलिता माता की जय को
Hare Krishna.
श्यामा गौरी माता की जय हो सबको